Good morning, it's Jonathan Barratt with the Week Ahead report. It's Monday, July the 12th, and it's going to be, hopefully, another good week. Let's see how we go. What I thought I'd do is start off with just a bit of a wrap over what happened, and then we'll get into what sort of numbers we got out this week and what we actually feel of those. Also, some of the themes which we're looking to discuss, some of the trades which we've been on and looking to do as well. So stay tuned. Let's first have a bit of a wrap as to what's happened over. As you can see, Bloomberg's changed a little bit in terms of its what it's done, and in terms of how it's presenting its stuff. But it makes it a lot easier for us as well. Just remember, the Dow was up 59 points, the S&P was up 7.7, and looking at what happened. Let's have a look here. Overview. That's all right. Let's try that. Oops, a bit of advertising, thank you very much. There we go, the Dow was up 59 points, S&P was up 7.7. Onto Euro, the Stoic was up 14, FTSE was up 27, the CAC was up 16, the DAX was up 29, so relatively positive there. Local market up 39 and closed at 43.96, so quite positive on that note as well. So if anything there, equity markets remain relatively optimistic as to what's happening. And if anything, that's quite a positive thing. Certainly need it with the headaches we've had over the last couple of months. So equity markets are looking okay. Let's have a look at some of the currencies now. And as we normally do, let's have a look at that the dollar index, 84.15. This is an interesting little chart. We tried to push lower the other night. Now we are actually long euro at the moment and had quite a good trade on that. We're still long, but we'll see how that. But if the market breaks below that 83.70, that will be a sign of a continuation of trend for us. But as you can see, it does look like we might get a little bit of a lift there. You can see that definitely when you go back and have a look at that daily chart, that we're right on the top there, so right on the bottom there, and chances are that we could see, there we are, a little bit of a lift here. And that's certainly coming to fruition perhaps over the next couple of days. Might be opportune actually to take off some of our long euro and long euro trades. Okay, having a look at some of the other currencies. Little Aussie battler, strong move coming up to resistance at this level here, around that 87, 88 area. Might have a spit through it tonight, but as to whether or not it stays on is another thing. But this momentum indicator certainly feels all right with it. On the euro, we've talked about the euro there, 127.37, getting on the top end of the range, but still within the range. Too early to tell whether we will continue higher, but I think at this time it's probably not a bad idea to lift the levels of your stop. Gold, just marking time here, but I think that it's worthwhile because this trend, this daily trend which we've had for some time, it's probably not a bad thing to actually look at here. That trend line there, I would like to see it spend a little bit more time around it, but as you can see, it's bouncing off it quite nicely. Momentum indicators have turned around as well, so that could be something to have a quick look at. Onto the crude, marking time. Remember, we've got a lot of data out there. This indicates that it does feel as if she wants to go higher. So would not be surprised to see that the US 80. But if you were thinking of going long there, put your stop in there around that 72 area. That's probably the safest area below that 71.50. So that to me is good. Copper had a bit of a lift, which was good. One thing to note, a little bit of news over the weekend concerning China and its policy concerning the yuan. And that might certainly get a little bit of a lift across the board to some of these base metals. I was looking for more of a consolidating pattern for copper. Still believe in it, but obviously if it takes out that high there, which we've had before, that high there, 310, 312, then I think you've got to run with it because that confirms this range and suggests that she moves back up to 350. So on that, quite important. Now, probably worthwhile also mentioning what's happened in some of these soft markets, particularly because we've been very friendly towards them for about the last month and a half. And as you can see, we're broken out of that, looking at the wheat chart there, looking very, very strong. We had some USDA numbers as well, and that was relatively muted in terms of what we wanted. But as you can see, it's holding on to these price gains pretty well, and that USDA data was supportive. Same sort of scenario here for corn, and better to have a look at the corn there on the daily chart because corn in itself is something we've been friendly to, And as you can see, it's holding on to gains. I mean, that's all very good stuff, very positive stuff in terms of holding on, and probably expectations are you can trade with that break up through that 380 if you're keen. Looks okay from that perspective. Noted this weekly chart here too, because that weekly chart you can see the extent to why we feel these grains are about to bust out. And look at that there, that looks good. You can also see that on the soybeans here, where we are definitely long soybeans. And I feel that if anything there that, look at that chart there, perfect. You know, that just to me looks like a perfect chart and a great breakout opportunity on the grains. So be pretty close to that. All of them looking okay. Only start with a bit of a small position. You don't have to go anything large because this is more of a long-term type of trade. And obviously your stops go there, 930 below that level here. And we'll try and define those stops a little bit more, particularly on that, and also some of the others. Okay, economic calendar-wise, the most important ones, if we go throughout the week, I guess it all culminates in Friday. But let's just quickly go through it. And here we go. On Monday, I guess not a lot to put your teeth into. Home loans are going to be important, and BRC, June retail sales were going to be good in the UK. NAB consumer confidence on Tuesday. In industrial production and capacity utilisation in Japan, I'm going to keep a close eye on those. Also consumer confidence. CPI and RPI in the UK. ZEW survey, which will be very important to see how Europe's pulling out of this recession, if at all, or how they're doing. And I guess that's pretty much about it. ABC confidence in the States. Wednesday, Westpac consumer confidence, and Eurozone CPI and IPI will be the ones I'll look at there. Advanced retail sales and retail sales in America would be the key. Retail sales actually come out on Wednesday. And I don't think there's much, but don't look at that. Thursday and Friday, just looking at the data out there. Thursday you got IP in the US, industrial production, very important. Friday you got CPI, also very important. We want to get a sense of feel for this inflationary type of pressures, particularly out of Europe, where there's this chance of stagflation trying to occur, where we get inflation without much demand. So that could be quite an interesting thing to keep an eye on. Righty-ho. So I guess in a nutshell, this week I think it's going to be all about inflation, see what sort of numbers of inflation come out, see if there is any. We have got concerns in the UK, which we're going to be monitoring very closely, see if that's going to spread to Europe. But outside that, let's see how that CPIs and those retail sales actually work, see what sort of numbers, so that will set us up for trading for this week. As you know, the positions we've got on, we're long euro, long corn, and certainly long soybeans. They're the only trades we've got on at the moment, and quite happy, although we might look at gold a little bit later on during the week. Well, that's about it from me. I hope you have a great week, and this is the week ahead report, and I'm signing off, and we'll talk to you soon.